Hello guys, Lit here. So in today's video I want to reconstruct my temple, which is the one that you see on the screen right now, into this one. And normally people will just start a new temple so they don't have to worry about, removing all of this and then rebuild again from zero. But I think it would be more fun if we try to retain what we can retain from the temple, and I will try to reconstruct that temple from this layout. So that's basically is the plan. I don't know if that's going to work, but I will try, since I have no life and also I need something to do. So the first obvious problem is of course the location of the architect. Now the architect can move whenever you kill them, and it will move to whatever location that it available. So I think the first plan to fix that problem is to let the second chain die until this point, because the location of the temple that I need is on here. So if we let this chain die up to this point, we can start killing the architect, and hopefully the architect will move into here. And after the architect move into here, I think we can just open and close the temple. It will still remove quite a lot of rooms until we remove everything in the middles, I think up to this point. So we're only going to have like this outer layer over here. And then another problem that I need to solve is this armory over here. This armory is a result of the location of the architect. There's nothing I can do. But if I remove everything from here, there's a lot of spy masters that are going to be lost. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Smitty here and Golem work here, which is basically going to make this all of them connect. But that will make a loop and it will ruin the temple. So what we can do is build a Smitty here, and we will wait until we get a auto sacrifice and Golem work. Where we get them, we put the Golem work here and we sacrifice this one. And then I can let this chain die up to this point over here, so the armory is basically removed, and I just need to rebuild the spy master again. So I can still retain at least this much spy master, which still require a lot of works. That's basically the entire part 1 of my 0 to hero, and then we can rebuild again from there. Now the second problem is the chain of the Smithy and Golem, but that's something I will figure out when I get there. It is a bit complicated to do. So that's basically the plan right now, and I'm going to take you all with the journey. Hopefully this can be entertaining. So let's begin with the phase 1, moving the architect. So I will just protect this lane, since this is the main chain, and I will just run the temple and let the third chain and the second chain die, and try to finish some of the rooms just to form some lock medallions, and I will see you on the next temple. Alright, the third link is gone, the second link, we still need to remove these two before we can kill the architect, so doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what happens here. So let's just lock the link, and then let's lock the second link, but up to this point, and let these two rooms die, and then we can start farming the architect. So let's run the temple. Now we already at the position that we want, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to lock this one, I'm going to lock this one, because we still want the room to be here. So when we move the architect, it kind of reduces the option for the architect to move. Hopefully the architect will move to this one. So I will keep running the temple until the architect moves into here.
You have come too far, and my design never fails.
Alright, change of plan. I forget that the architect can move anywhere on the empty space. So there will be a chance for, let's say, let the architect move here, which is where we want, but it will connect the two links. So that will be dangerous, and that potentially ruin the entire temple. So the plan has to change. So I will just close the temple and let things be, and then I will just go inside and go out until the inside of the temple is gone. That way, it doesn't matter where the architect goes, we can always connect to the middle, and then we can back to farming architect until the architect moves into the location that we want. So for now, let's just run the temple back and forth until everything is gone. Alright, I think we are safe now. I think. So let's just go for it. We can build the depot here so we can access the architect and we can kill the architect. I already protect the main link, so the outer layer should be safe. And let's run the temple. Alright, we got the position that we need. The architect is where we need it to be. And we also get the auto sacrifice so we can switch the starting lane. So all we need to do now is just put the golem here and then put the other sacrifice down and sacrifice this room. And the next step is just let this lane die off until it removes the armory, because it's really hard to fix this. I think it's easier to just let things die here, and we're going to rebuild from there. And we arrive at the position that we can start building according to the layout. And it's actually faster than I expected. And it's mostly about getting lucky with the architect positions, because there's a lot of space that architect can go. I think it takes me like 5 or 6 architect kill to move the architect here, which is pretty lucky. So basically we can start building, but I will not go over like every single detail of the layout, because I already done 2 0 to hero. And I'm feeling like a broken record right now. So for every attack that I already done, I will show the brief explanation for it. Like for example, like the Spy Master Garrison chain here is pretty easy to do, and the Corruptions one is also pretty easy to do. And if the layout doesn't involve any attack, I will just skip over it, and maybe I will just compact them into like a short fastened video, so it doesn't take too long. And I will go more in depth on the Smitty and Golem chain, because I never showed it before, and that chain is the hardest of every chain that I've done in this game. So I'll go back to the temple and get the ingredient that we need. So for the Spy Master attack, it's very simple. You want to have armory here, and then you want to build the barrack here. And when you have the barrack like this, now you can put the Spy Master on the corner like this. And what you need to do next is to lock the Spy Master and let this 2 room dies, and then you can put the garrison here and go for the 50-50. If you win, the legion here will survive, and you basically continuing the chain. And I will do one more showcase for like the normal Spy Master. It's pretty easy to do, so let's find the material. So this is how you can chain Spy Master in the normal straight line. You need depot, and then you put the garrison here, and then that will allow you to put Spy Master here, and there you go, you got your Spy Master here. It's as simple as that, and we're basically just going to repeat this until we get here. And I think based on the layout, this is just following the layout. So I will see you guys when we reach the Golem and Smitty chain. So we arrive at the hardest chain, which is the Smitty and Golem chain. So the first step is you want to have this chain first. This is you can do normally. So Smitty, Golem works Smitty. And then you will need armory, and then you will need alchemy core. And what we're going to do, I'm going to place the armory here, and then I'm going to place the alchemy core here. Now, the next step is to lock this Smitty, because you will not be able to place down Smitty again. But the golem work is going to get removed, but you will be able to place this one back. So the next lock will be on the alchemy core, and for the next one we will need the armory and Smitty again. And some extra note, if you do not have the alchemy core, you can lock the Smitty and the armory and let the golem die, because we will need the chain over here. And also for this thaumaturge, it's not supposed to be here. And the reason why it still be here, because I do not find another thaumaturge. But if I find another thaumaturge, I will put them here, and we can lock them so this thaumaturge will get removed. So this is just a temporary place. So I got the armory and Smitty, and also golem work. So this is really nice. And basically what we can do is put the armory here and put the Smitty here. And the next thing we need to do is put down the golem over here. Now after you put down the golem over here, if you have another golem like me here, you can put it here. And the locking part is basically the same whether you have the golem or not. So the locking part will be this Smitty and the other Smitty here. This way, the only room that this way, the game will remove this 3 room over here. So this is lit from editing, and there is a bit of a corrections. I think I make a mistake. So in this case, I'm locking both of Smitty, and what actually happened is I lost the golem at the chain. And technically speaking, the game does prioritize to remove as much room as possible. So there is a high chance for these two rooms to get removed, and these two especially 50-50. But the golem in the middle is actually not safe, so it's not a guarantee. So what I suggest to do is, number one, do not put the golem at the corner yet. So imagine this one is gone, and then on the locking part, you want to lock the golem and this smithy over here, because this smithy is safe if you do not put the golem here. And this way the game will still remove these two rooms, and then at the next turn you can place the golem and you can lock the golem and the end of the chain, and this will remove this armory. And in this round I also found the thaumaturge, so I put thaumaturge here and I locked the thaumaturge here, and then this thaumaturge will get removed. Now you don't really have to do it in one turn. I get a lot of luck from previous runs, so I just use them. It's not a big of a deal, but if you're running low on luck, you don't have to do it on one turn. Alright, for the next sections, we're still going to do the same thing. So we're going to build the armory, the alchemy core armory, and smithy. So we can place down the golem work here. Now the difference is the locking part. So what we're going to do next is to lock the golem work and to lock the alchemy core. And with this way, it will remove these two. And we will rebuild it again with armory, smithy, and golem work here. But that's for later. So for the next part, you want to have one armory here, smithy, and golem. And after that, you will need one smithy and 3 logs. So what we're gonna do is to place the smithy in the middle, and then I will lock the golem over here, lock the smithy, and lock the golem. And 4 of these rooms are going to get removed, and then we can continue the next one with Roman roads. Alright, so this is the next sections to make this golem chain over here. And this is what a lot of people call Roman tag. You basically build a road up to this point, and you put the smithy and you put the golem work over here. And for the next step is very, very important. You need to have a smithy and sacrifice room at the same turn. So if you only have the smithy, do not put the smithy down, because it will connect the rooms and it will make a loop and it will ruin your temple. Have a smithy and sacrifice room at the same time. And what you're gonna do is you're going to put the smithy here, basically connecting, it's become a loop, and now you break the loop with the sacrifice chamber, removing the road over here. So what we can do is just lock this chain and put in the dynamo, because why not? So I'll head back to the temple and get all the ingredients needed for the last chain of the smithy and golem. And for the last part of the smithy and golem chain, we will do the same thing what we do earlier, which basically using armory, smithy, and we're going to put another armory here, and we're going to put the smithy here. And this will allow you to put the golem here, and this basically complete all the chain of the golem and smithy. And this is probably the most exhausting part of the entire temple. And for the locking part, I will lock the smithy and also the golem work behind them. And with these 2 locked, the only room that can be moved is this 3. And the next part will be the chain of the alchemy and corruptions, which I will talk a little bit more when we get there. But that will be the last tech that's going to be used on this temple, because the second chain is basically just a normal chain. So I'll go back to the temple and I'll be back when we got the ingredients. So this is the sections where we're going to chain the thaumaturge and corruptions. Now the first thing first, you want the alchemy, thaumaturge, and corruption here. The thaumaturge final location will not be here, it should be here. But for the sake of the chain, I think it's easier to start with this first, and later on when you get another thaumaturge, you can put it here. And the main problem on this chain is to put the thaumaturge here. Normally we're going to do it with alchemy core and thaumaturge over here, but this box is connected to the entrance, so you cannot really put a room here because it will make them loop. And that's the reason why we put the top touch here. So you have two options that you can go for, and I will showcase both of them. So for now, let's showcase the first route first, because I think that's the easiest you can replicate. We're going to put the alchemy core here, and I will find the rest of the ingredient here. So this will be the demonstration of the first way. You will need to build alchemy core here, and then you can put Thaumaturge here, and then you can put another alchemy core here, and then you can put the Thaumaturge here. And of course, you don't have to do it in one turn, but you still have to lock both of them in the same turn. And when you already get at this point, what you need to do is to lock this Thaumaturge and to lock this corruption chamber, and that will remove this tree, and that will allow you to build another corruption here. So this will be the second way demonstrations, which basically using Roman road, like very short Roman road. The first step is you're going to put either alchemy core or road, either of them is fine. And then what you need next, and this is very important, you want to have Thaumaturge and sacrificial room at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our Thaumaturge, and then we're going to use sacrificial rooms to remove the alchemy, and therefore you basically remove the loops that are going to ruin your temples. And with this, what we need next is just the corruptions and finish off the last one, and I go back to temple to find the ingredients. So we can continue on the chain. I found the corruption chamber, and this is the corruption chamber basically, and we need the last corruption on here. So next we need the Thaumaturge here, and the way you can do that is by using the alchemy core, and you put down the Thaumaturge, and then what you do is you lock these two over here, and the alchemy core going to get removed. And then what you need to do next is just put the corruption chamber at the end. And one more thing about this Thaumaturge over here, when you have a spare Thaumaturge, you can put them down here, and you basically can lock it, and this one going to get removed. And that's basically the entire tag of this entire temple, and the rest of it is just filling in the necessary rooms that are going to be needed. The second link doesn't require any tag, you're just following the layout and you will get there. And for the main link, we just need the last corruption chamber, and we are basically finished with the temple. So that's basically is the temple reconstructions, and the video itself is actually pretty short because I shortened a lot of things. It's kind of surprising that I can squish it into 15 minutes for the temple. But for now, I think that's it from me. I will leave you with the full temple run if you guys want to see the entire run. The loot is probably around 10 to 20% more than my previous temple, probably close to 20%. The loot feels really good, and I don't think I upgrade more than my previous temples. So this temple does give a lot more loot, but of course the downside also, it's a lot more complicated to build. It does take me several days to finish all the temple, and I don't even begin from scratch, so it does require a lot of works. But considering the reward, I mean, you put more work, you get more reward, right? So yeah, as usual guys, if you have any questions, just leave it comment below. I will try my best to answer it. And thank you everyone for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.
have made a grave mistake.
Exile Opala!
Remnants of a dead
You
empire.
challenge the best of the best.
Face me!
I'll hold this medallion for you.
The vow of many unseen eyes. The vow of many unseen eyes. You challenge the best of the best. You challenge the best of the best. The vow of many unseen eyes.
Ancient fool!
The vow of many unseen vow many unseen eyes.
Another medallion.
Perhaps you will be a worthy adversary. You challenge the fate.
Face me!
Perhaps you will be a worthy adversary. Where they step from the dark.
You reek of stupidity!
Another medallion. Ancient fools!
Corruption cuts both ways.
For Atziri! You have made a grave mistake! You reek of stupidity!
Ekala! Are Jantol! Harejantul! Exile! Harejantul! Exile! Harejantul! Exile! Harejantul!
You have made a grave mistake. You have made a grave mistake.